He laughed at a little girl in front of everyone, insisting no black woman could ever belong in special forces. Amaya froze, tears brimming in her eyes, until the store door slid open and her mother appeared in full uniform. The entire store froze, and one man learned a lesson he'd never forget. Amaya Richardson wasn't trying to impress anyone. She was 12, standing in the shoe aisle of Dick's Sporting Goods at South Park Mall in Charlotte, chatting casually with her best friend about school, sneakers, and her desperate wish for a new pair of Nikes. Her tone was light, playful, but then, like kids do, she dropped a truth bomb. "My mom won't pick me up until she's done at Fort Bragg," Amaya said, snapping the lid of a shoebox shut. "She's in special forces, so her schedule's crazy sometimes." Her friend's eyes went wide. "Wait, your mom's in the army? Like actually fighting?" "Yeah," Amaya said, with the same casual ease she used to talk about cereal. Her mother, Sergeant Major Nicole Richardson, had just returned from a mission overseas. Just another small brag kids toss around. But then, a laugh cut through the aisle, sharp, cold, and cruel. Officer Colton Reeves, flipping through a rack of Under Armour hoodies, smirked. Off-duty, jeans, Panthers t-shirt, badge clipped to his belt like an accessory. But that laugh? It carried. "Special forces?" he scoffed, shaking his head. "Kid, I've been in law enforcement 20 years. No way your mom's out there running with the Green Berets. Especially not." He paused, narrowing his eyes. "Someone like her." The word stung. Amaya's face burned, lips pressed tight. Shoppers turned, a mother feigning interest in socks, teenagers whispering behind their hands. Her friend leaned in. "Just ignore him," she whispered. But ignoring him wasn't an option. Reeves chuckled again. "Look, kids make up stories. My boy used to say his dad was Spider-Man. Cute, but not real." Embarrassment climbed Amaya's neck like fire. She wanted to speak, defend her mom, but nothing came out. Her hands shook as she shoved the box back, cardboard scraping harshly against the shelf. "Fairy tales," he said, smirking at the growing circle of onlookers. "Nothing wrong with wanting your mom to be a hero. But you don't have to invent stories." Fairy tales. The word hit like a slap. Nicole Richardson wasn't a story. She was real, fierce, and brave. But in this fluorescent-lit store, Amaya had no proof. Reeves knew it. That smug grin told her he felt victorious. "Tell you what," he added, tapping his badge. "If your mom's really special forces, she should swing by the station sometime. We could use a laugh." Amaya's chest tightened. She pictured her mother's calloused hands, medals lined across the living room wall, the way strangers instinctively stepped aside when she walked. Her mother had risked her life countless times, and here was this man, tearing it down in front of strangers. Her voice finally broke through. "You don't know anything about her." Reeves' smile faltered, but only for a heartbeat. "Sure, kid. Whatever you say." Shoppers whispered, some amused, some uneasy. But no one intervened. The silence made her humiliation heavier. "Maybe we should just wait outside," her friend Kane murmured. But Amaya couldn't move. Sneakers glued to the floor. This wasn't just embarrassment. It was pride, truth, her mother's honor. She lowered her gaze, trapped by the impossibility of defending her. What Amaya didn't know, Nicole Richardson was already on her way, boots echoing against the mall tile, about to turn the corner and change everything. Reeves leaned casually, his voice slicing through the aisle. "People don't get how brutal it is to make it into special forces. Years of grueling training, combat deployments. Only the best survive. And you expect me to believe your mom's one of them?" Each word twisted inside Amaya like a knife. Letters she'd written, nights she'd waited for her mother's safe return, all unspoken. Her friend whispered again, but Amaya shook her head. "I don't care if you believe me. My mom doesn't need your approval." Reeves smirked, unconcerned. "Listen, sweetheart, reality check. People like you don't see what real sacrifice looks like." Amaya's ears burned. Tears blurred her vision, but she refused them. Across the aisle, a stranger muttered, "Let the kid talk, man." Reeves ignored him. "You're wrong about her. Wrong about everything," she said, trembling but steady. Another laugh from Reeves. One that felt like triumph. "Wrong, kid. I've met real soldiers, real heroes, and trust me, they don't look like your mom." The words landed heavy. Amaya froze, fury and shame knotting inside her. King gasped, "That's not fair." You don't even know her. And you do? Reeves sneered. Did you sit around swapping war stories? Amaya trembled, fists tight, but held her ground. You'll see. She's coming. Reeves laughed, leaning back. Yeah? Maybe she'll parachute through the skylight. Don't worry, kid. Life's tough. Better to face the truth now than live in make-believe. Shoppers whispered, recording, pointing, watching. The weight of judgment pressed down on Amaya. She wished she'd stayed silent. But the thought of Reeves smirking, of everyone believing him over her, made her chest ignite. She wiped her eyes, chin lifted. You'll see, she said again, firmer. Reeves crossed his arms, smirk unwavering. We'll see, huh? And just then, Nicole Richardson's boots struck the tile, every step echoing like a drumbeat. Amaya's heart pounded, the mall fading around her, all eyes on her as the woman she idolized prepared to rewrite the rules of this small, cruel world. Why is he going after her like that? Someone muttered from a few aisles away. Maybe the kid really did make it up, another voice whispered. Low, but not low enough. Kane tugged at Amaya's sleeve. Please, let's just wait outside. You don't have to keep talking to him. But Amaya's chest burned. Part anger, part shame, all fire. I'm not lying, she whispered, mostly to herself. Reeves leaned closer, voice dropping just enough to sound intimate and intimidating at once. Look, I'm trying to save you from yourself. Run around telling stories like this, and people will laugh. Not everyone's going to be kind. Your mom works hard. She takes care of you. That's enough. No need to pretend she's some kind of war hero. Her fingernails dug into her palms. Pretend. The word echoed, mocking every lonely night she'd cried into her pillow missing her mom. Pretend. As if the medals in their shadow box were props from a gift shop. For the first time, doubt crept in, not about her mom, but about herself. Had she spoken too casually? Was it her fault strangers now thought her mother's life was a joke? She bit her cheek hard, tasting iron, stinging herself into focus. Colleen leaned close. He doesn't matter. You know what's true. But truth didn't matter when no one believed her. Reeves shifted his weight, eyes scanning the store like it was a stage. Tell you what, he said, almost chuckling. If your mom walks in here in uniform, I'll buy you those sneakers myself. He gestured to the wall of shoes. Until then, keep the fairy tales at home. Fairy tales. Her vision blurred, but she refused to blink. No tears, not for him. Nearby, a woman with a basket of clearance shirts finally spoke. She's just a kid, she said firmly. Reeves turned slowly, locking eyes. I'm just telling her the truth. Better she hears it now than keeps embarrassing herself. The woman shook her head, silent. No one else spoke. Amaya's stomach twisted. Why did no one defend her? Why was it easier to watch than to say she was right? Her mother always said, courage isn't loud, Amaya. Sometimes it's just standing tall when you want to shrink. Standing tall felt impossible, with the floor pressing down on her like cement. She pressed her lips until they hurt. You'll see, she whispered again, trembling. Reeves tilted his head, bored. Kid, I've heard it all. Aliens, superheroes, secret agents. Every story is the same. Kids wanting to feel special. Nothing wrong with that. But the truth doesn't need defending. His words cut deep. Wasn't that exactly what she was doing? Defending? If truth was so obvious, why did she feel like she was losing? Colleen stepped between them, small but fierce. You're being mean. She's not lying. Reeves arched a brow. And how do you know? I've seen pictures, Colleen snapped. Her mom's in uniform. Medals. She stopped. The words felt thin against his disbelief. Reeves chuckled under his breath. Pictures? Anyone can buy a uniform at an army surplus. Doesn't make it real. Amaya clenched her jaw. Every word he spoke twisted reality, making the crowd lean in as if his version made sense. Her knees trembled, but she forced herself upright. You'll see, she said again, stronger this time. Reeves smirked, indulgent, like a man humorously humoring a child. All right, I'm waiting. The whispers stopped. The air thickened. Every second dragged, like the world held its breath. Amaya's palms slick, heart hammering. Then boots. Steady, certain, impossible to ignore. But Amaya didn't yet know. Her mom's arrival wouldn't just end the laughter. It would flip the entire store upside down. The mall doors hissed open. Sergeant Major Nicole Richardson strode in, posture commanding attention without a word. Camouflage crisp, patches glinting under the lights, beret tucked neatly under her arm. She had just left a Fort Bragg ceremony, planning a simple surprise pickup. She hadn't expected a crowd. Amaya's eyes locked on her immediately. Relief crashed into her chest, almost knocking her breath away. But fear surged too. Her mother was about to see everything. Nicole's boots struck the tiles in rhythm, deliberate and unbroken. Her gaze swept the store, finally landing on the small cluster near the sneaker aisle. Amaya, flushed, fists balled. Kalen, tense. Reeves, leaning back as if he owned the place. Nicole's jaw set. She crossed the aisle, uniform drawing instinctive respect. Amaya froze. She wanted to run into her mother's arms, but Nicole's presence demanded she stay. Reeves spotted her too. At first, his grin remained, assuming just another parent. But Nicole's insignia and composure made his smirk falter for a heartbeat. "Mom!" Amaya's voice cracked, spilling relief that silenced the whispers. Nicole stopped beside her daughter, hand resting lightly on her shoulder. The tension eased slightly. "What's going on?" she asked, calm but sharp. Reeves forced a polite smile. "Evening, ma'am. Just clearing up a misunderstanding." Nicole's eyes flicked from him to the circle of strangers, then back to Amaya. Amaya's lips trembled. He said I couldn't be who I am. That I made it up." Nicole didn't answer immediately. She studied Reeves, the silence long enough to make him shift. "I was just having a little fun with her," he offered nervously. Nicole's voice cut clear, steady, and undeniable. "You mocked my daughter in front of strangers, and called her a liar." Reeves stiffened. "Now hold on, I didn't." "I interrupt," Nicole said. "And you decided it was a joke. Tell me, officer, what exactly was so funny?" The store fell silent. Even the music seemed to pause. Shoppers leaned back, waiting. Nicole's presence filled the space like a tide of authority. "I didn't mean anything by it. Just unusual, that's all," Reeves muttered, shrinking under her gaze. Nicole tilted her head, calm but unyielding. "Unusual doesn't mean impossible. It means you've never seen it. And maybe the problem isn't that I'm here. It's that you couldn't imagine I could be." Her voice didn't rise, yet every word hit harder than a shout. Amaya looked up at her mother, pride swelling in her chest. She wanted Reeves to respond, to try, but he didn't. His mouth opened slightly, then closed. The smirk was gone. The woman with the clearance basket whispered to her friend, "She's the real thing." The teenage boy at the checkout muttered, "No way. That's legit." For the first time that afternoon, Amaya breathed freely. The world wasn't against her. Nicole squeezed her daughter's shoulder lightly before turning back to Reeves. "Next time, before you laugh at a child, remember, truth doesn't need your permission to exist." Reeves's throat bobbed. He gave a stiff nod, bravado shattered. But Nicole wasn't done. The store was heavy with silence. Every shopper, now part of the lesson unfolding. "Officer Reeves," she said evenly, eyes on his badge. "I don't know you. You don't know me. Yet you laughed at my daughter in front of strangers." "What?" Reeves licked his lips, confidence slipping. "Look, Sergeant Major, I wasn't trying to." Nicole cut in gently, but firmly. "Why mock a child who speaks the truth?" He shifted, attempting to regain control. "It wasn't like that. I just thought she was exaggerating. Kids do that." Nicole's eyes didn't waver. "Exaggerating is saying, my mom makes the best cookies in the world. Or claiming you can outrun a car. My daughter didn't exaggerate. She told you who I am, and you laughed." A ripple ran through the crowd. The woman with the basket crossed her arms, invested. Reeves forced a laugh, thin and hollow. "All right, maybe I shouldn't have laughed. But special forces, it caught me off guard," he muttered. Nicole's voice cut sharper. "What about special forces caught you off guard? That my daughter knows the term? Or that she used it to describe me?" He hesitated. The pause spoke louder than anything. Nicole leaned slightly forward. "You assumed that because I'm a woman, because I'm black, you couldn't imagine me in that role. So you mocked my daughter to protect your assumptions." Reeves swallowed hard. His eyes flicked to the onlookers. This wasn't just a conversation. It was an audience he couldn't impress or intimidate. Colleen whispered to Amaya, "He looks nervous." Amaya whispered back, "Good. I never said anything about race." Reeves tried. "I never said anything about women. You're putting words in my mouth." Nicole straightened. "You didn't have to say it. Your laugh said it for you." A few people nodded faintly. "She's right. muttered a man near the registers. Reeves's smirk was gone. Fine. Maybe I came across wrong. But I didn't mean harm. Nicole glanced at Amaya, then back to him. Intent doesn't erase impact. You turned her truth into entertainment. Do you know how small that can make a child feel? Amaya's chest tightened, not with shame, but with pride. Her mom was saying what she couldn't. The silence stretched. Reeves shifted nervously, aware of every phone camera pointed at him. Nicole let the pause linger before continuing. I've served my country for 22 years. I've led soldiers through terrain you'll never see. Made decisions carrying life or death. Every stripe, every insignia I wear, I earned. And yet, the hardest battle I fight is right here. Convincing people like you that my existence is not a joke. Her words hit like steel wrapped in velvet. Reeves opened his mouth, then shut it. Arguments dried up. This isn't about me, Nicole said, addressing the entire store now. It's about how easy it is to dismiss someone when their story doesn't match what you expect. My daughter shouldn't have to defend my career to strangers. She shouldn't have to stand here in tears because a man couldn't imagine her words being real. A quiet clap broke the tension. One shopper started it. Soon others joined. The gesture spread like wildfire. Reeves rubbed his neck. All right, point taken. Nicole lowered her voice, just enough for him and Amaya. Next time, remember, respect costs you nothing. But withholding it costs others everything. Amaya looked up at her mother, chest swelling with a pride that pushed out shame. For the first time since Reeves laughed, she felt steady again. The crowd's eyes were still on Reeves. Nicole wasn't done. You think this is over? It isn't. Not until you understand what you did. Reeves tried a weak laugh. Look, I said I was wrong. What else? An apology? Nicole's eyes never left his. An apology isn't about you. It's about the person you harmed. You laughed at her truth. You crushed it under your heel. Look at her, not me. The weight of her words pressed down. Reeves glanced at Amaya, lips tight, eyes wet but unflinching. Finally, sorry, kid. Nicole arched a brow. Try again. The murmurs from the crowd encouraged him. Amaya, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have laughed. You told the truth, and I didn't believe you. That was wrong. Her chest swelled. She didn't shrink. She looked at Nicole. Nicole gave the slightest nod. Reeves exhaled, thinking it was over. Nicole turned to the crowd. This isn't about one man and one child. It's about dismissing someone's truth because it challenges your assumptions. How many times have we done that? How many kids think their voices don't matter because someone laughed instead of listening? Heads nodded. Some faces flushed with recognition. Kane whispered, she's amazing. Nicole bent slightly, voice soft but firm. Amaya, never be ashamed of telling the truth. Not about me. Not about anything. If someone can't handle it, that's their weakness, not yours. Tears pricked Amaya's eyes, but this time, relief and pride outweighed humiliation. Reeves rubbed his neck, wanting the ground to swallow him. I already said I was sorry. Nicole's eyes pierced him. Then live like it. Respect costs nothing, but stripping it away can scar someone forever. The crowd erupted quietly. Slow claps, scattered at first, then steady and supportive. Reeves's face burned crimson. He stepped back, finally retreating. Amaya turned to her mom. Thank you. No, Amaya, Nicole said, bending to her level. Thank you for telling the truth when it wasn't easy. That's braver than anything I've done in uniform. Amaya breathed deeply, carrying the lesson like armor. She finally believed it. As they left the mall, Nicole reminded her, people will doubt you, laugh at you, dismiss you, but never let them take your truth. Promise me. I promise, Amaya said, eyes shining. Nicole kissed the top of her head. Good. Let's go home. Amaya leaned back, hands still gripping Kane's, thinking, I'll never be embarrassed about Mom again. Because that day, in a crowded store, she had learned, never let anyone laugh you out of your own truth. If this story gave you chills, tell us and drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit subscribe and join Black Nation Strength, where powerful stories, courage, and truth are celebrated, and stories like Amaya's are never ignored.